Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. A special thank you to our friends here at the Hilton Garden Inn, Park Place, for allowing us to tape today's show here in their beautiful lobby. You can enjoy Hilton's great guest rooms and suites, pool and fitness areas, and of course there's all hours in the park, restaurant and bar. Our focus today is on an event that's presenting comedy legend Martin Short for an evening of laughter, friendship, and community. Laugh It Up Milwaukee 2014 is happening on Saturday, January 18th at the Pabst Theater, presented by the Harry and Rose Sampson Family Jewish Community Center and the Bayshore Community Foundation. This year's signature partner is the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer, also known as the Mack Fund. Here to tell us more about the organization is the Executive Director of the Mack Fund, Mr. John Carey. Hi, John.
Hello. How
it
you
is
doing?
Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here.
Fortune. Thank you.
And I basically want to start off talking more about the Mack Fund and what it is you do for children and their families.
Well, the Mack Fund started in 1976 when John McLaughlin retired from the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks and a great partner with the Mack Fund. Eddie Doucette was the announcer for the Milwaukee Bucks on radio. His little boy Brett was 2, diagnosed with cancer. And when John retired, they decided to use his retirement as a kickoff for this thing at that time called Milwaukee Athletes Against Childhood Cancer. And about 2 years later, they changed the name to Midwest because people in Greenfield, so to speak, might not support it because it wasn't Milwaukee. And also there were kids coming from throughout the area. Over the course of time, the Mack Fund has contributed $48 million to research. And about 12 years ago, in addition to cancer, the Mack Fund started supporting blood disorder diseases, hematology cancer, or hematology research for diseases like aplastic anemia and sickle cell disease. So what we basically have been able to do, because of great events like Laugh It Up Milwaukee and our friends at the JCC and the Bayshore Community Foundation coming together, we've been able to raise a bunch of money and have that money invested locally for research in the state of Wisconsin, at the Medical College of Wisconsin, at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, and at the UW Carbone Cancer Center in Madison. But the beauty of research is that money impacts the treatment of kids not only here, but throughout the state, throughout the nation, and throughout the world.
That's a powerful statement. And John McLaughlin, I like to call him J-Mac, he actually has played a huge role, as you stated, in not only the development of the Mack Fund, but the success. And you too have played a huge role. Every time I hear you talking about the Mack Fund, there's that passion there to continue to raise these dollars to help make a difference in the lives of children and their families. So this past October, the Mack Fund was honored by Children's Hospital of Wisconsin with its organization award. And if you don't mind, we'll take a quick look at that video.
I remember back when the Mack Fund started and thinking, you know, if we could raise, or they could raise $50,000 a year, that would be fantastic. We didn't have a bone marrow transplant program until the early 80s, and because of the Mack Fund support, we were one of the first places in the country to do unrelated bone marrow transplants.
We are so fortunate to have an incredibly strong partnership with the Mack Fund. There is no question that our cancer, blood disorders, and bone marrow transplant program is as strong as it is today because of the generous support of the Mack Fund for more than 35 years.
The investments that the Mack Fund has made in the research that underlies what we do with transplant has revolutionized the way transplants are done here and elsewhere.
We're now a phase 1 institution, which means we test the new drugs that come on the market. And I'm not sure without the Mack Fund support we'd be at that level.
The Mack Fund support has given us the flexibility to get new recruits and to develop ideas that otherwise would not have had the support to develop.
Because we have received such wonderful support from the Mack Fund, we have been able to focus on our blood disorders such as sickle cell disease.
John was actually diagnosed with sickle cell anemia SS, which is a more severe form of the disease.
I had a bone marrow transplant for my brother, Devin.
The Mack Fund has helped us transform pediatric oncology and blood disorders in Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
I don't go through as much pain as I did in the past few years. So I'm more healthy now, and I can do more things like regular kids.
We are incredibly grateful for their latest commitment for pediatric research. This will ensure that our ability to provide tremendous care and great hope for our kids with cancer and blood disorders can continue.
A significant commitment like the Mac Fund just made assures the fact that we can continue to recruit fantastic physicians.
The giant ripple effect that you guys create by sending kids out of these doors as survivors is more enormous than you could ever know.
Without the Mac Fund, you'd have very, very good programs, but you wouldn't be at the cutting edge. You wouldn't be the one sort of leading the way. And I think we've been able to do that.
They have been a tremendous asset, tremendous encouragement, tremendous support for what we do. Without the Mac Fund, we wouldn't be where we are.
On behalf of our patients, their families, our providers, and all of us at Children's Hospital Wisconsin, thank you, Mac Fund.
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 How does it make you feel knowing that the Mac Fund has made a difference across the board, specifically in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling, and you mentioned John McLaughlin. I mean, what John has done is pretty unparalleled. There just aren't too many people that have made that kind of pretty much a lifelong commitment. John just turned 70. Mac Fund's 37 years old, so for more than half of his life, he's been committed to the Mac Fund. And I think if you asked him that question, he would say that it's next to his family and his faith, it's the most significant thing he's done, and he's got a ring on his finger for winning a world championship with Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What does it mean? It means that a child who's afflicted with cancer or sickle cell disease or aplastic anemia, they've got hope.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? It means that a child can ring a bell in the clinic, the Mac Fund Center, when he finishes his treatment, and he can hope to get on with his life. And to think that this organization had started on a Milwaukee Bucks basketball court and is led by a wonderful man who's dedicated his life to it, but frankly was a Phi-Ed major, not a scientist. To think that we can make that kind of a difference by supporting world-class researchers is just remarkable. And you mentioned Children's Hospital. And Children's Hospital is about as good as it gets.
You're right about that.
And not just in cancer care and in cardiac care with the Herma Heart Center and neonatal care and so many different things. And they're so blessed to have the great leadership that they have with Peggy Troy. And you throw the medical college in, which is part of the whole mix out at the Regional Medical Center. You throw the blood center in, you put Freighted on the adult side. There's a lot of great blessings. I mean, the name of your show speaks to the whole community of Milwaukee, which extends far beyond the Mac Fund. But the Mac Fund, thanks to friends like the JCC and the Bayshore Community Foundation, have been able to become part of a very significant medical community.
Yes, and special events and cause-related marketing comprise about 75% of the Mac Fund's annual income. So with your involvement in this year's Laugh It Up Milwaukee event with the JCC, you do expect to generate more dollars to make a difference.
It's a heck of a way to start the new year.
Yeah, laughing.
I mean, laughing. I mean, that's great. It's great medicine. But yes, we'll certainly raise a lot of money. But I think sometimes you get too caught up in the money. I think what's important here is the opportunity for a community to come together.
Yeah.
See, the JCC could be very successful with this event without bringing in a partner, in this case, the Mac Fund. But they see things on a more global basis, and I think, frankly, if we did that in general in this country, in a lot of ways now, we would be a lot better off.
I agree.
So, yeah, there's some great symbolism here, but the opportunity for us to be associated with something as great as the JCC, and when you think that you put a quarter into a parking meter at the at the Bayshore Community Center, or town center, and that helps pay for something like this. I mean, that's something to laugh about right there.
See, and I can guarantee you there are a large number of people watching who had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That
did you know?
I did, because when
you're
they
smart.
when they put the little envelope on your, that means I've been ticketed.
I have
shopping
seen
in
that.
the same store too long. When they put that little envelope on, it specifically says that these dollars go to the foundation. So I think this is a great opportunity for those people at home who did not know that, that they know that those dollars are not going, to the city. It's going to make a difference with kids and families and people in general. It's a beautiful thing.
And it's just a great thing. And obviously Martin Short is everybody is so excited about him.
That's huge.
Our kids watch our grandchildren watch kids programming, and his voice is in a lot of that. And
he's in Madagascar.
He's in all kinds
these
of stuff.
things.
So,
it's true.
So it's pretty cool.
Yes, and the other 25% of the MAC Fund's annual income comes from a variety of donations. So you've got corporate and workplace giving and things of that nature. So we just want to remind people at home that there are ways that they can give as an individual to help make a difference as well.
They can go to our website anytime they want at macfund.org and certainly make a gift in that way. What they can also do is volunteer. It doesn't always have to be in terms of the financial support. It can be volunteering, or it can just be saying a nice thing. And it's so important that people understand that cancer, despite the challenges, cancer is a curable disease. And when you look at the fact that the overall cure rate now for childhood cancer has gone from 20% to 80%.
That's huge.
During the 37-year lifetime of the MAC Fund, and the MAC Fund's played a pretty important part in that. That's pretty significant.
Absolutely.
Not enough, but pretty significant.
You said the battle continues, and that is something I want everybody to keep in mind. Quickly, I want to mention there are a number of well-known athletes who are part of your honorary athletics board, and some of those individuals are household names: Ray Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Barry Alvarez, Bonnie Blair, Jim Paschke. All these guys played a role, and ladies, I should say, have played a role in helping get the word out about the MAC Fund.
They really do, and we've been very blessed. A lot of them have taken up the mantle that John McLaughlin laid down, along with Eddie Doucette. And obviously the most prominent name and just a wonderful, wonderful person in that whole process is Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
And what he's done and what he's allowed his name to be used with, believe it or not, we've raised in excess of $1 million in net proceeds over the past 4 years with Aaron's help.
I love that, and I thank you so much for coming by to share all the great information about the MAC Fund. John Carey is the Executive Director of the MAC Fund. For more information about the MAC Fund and this year's Laugh It Up Milwaukee event happening on Saturday, January 18th at the PAPS, you can log on to macfund.org. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Thank you for watching, and we hope you join us again next week as we take a look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.